Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com, and it is time for this month's Tarotscope for September 2024. I'm going to go through every astrological sign and do a little mini tarot reading for each sign. I'm going to pick two cards for each sign, and we're going to start with Aries and end with Pisces. And there are these convenient little timestamps at the bottom of your screen to quickly go to your particular sign. And if you want an even more accurate reading, you might also want to listen to the message for your astrological moon sign and rising sign as well. And so without further ado, it's so good to be back and making videos again after my recent move to England, but I'm settled into Somerset now and ready to get into weekly, daily, and monthly tarot videos. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with the astrological sign of Aries. So if you're an Aries or have a lot of Aries in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2024. And we actually get the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is sometimes for me a card of toxic passivity, where you're feeling like your hands are tied. You're hoping, wishing, and waiting for something to get better, and yet nothing's happening. You're kind of just stuck there waiting. Eight of Swords can represent sometimes a crippling fear and anxiety that's keeping you bound up in knots. And yet, even with the Eight of Swords, we see this woman on the card whose situation looks so hopeless and bleak on the surface. And yet she can free herself so easily. She's tied up with these ropes, but she's literally inches away from these very sharp blades driven into the ground. And she can cut herself free whenever she desires to. And so for me, the Eight of Swords, like a lot of challenging swords cards, they represent thoughts that are keeping you stuck, scared, limited. This card can also just indicate, Aries, you're in your head too much and you need to take action. Aries is at its best when it's taking action, when it's taking the initiative, when it's making a new beginning. And it's at its worst when it's passive, when it's waiting, when it's hoping, when it's wishing. And so I just feel like you want that more active principle. So this month, instead of being afraid of making the wrong choice is making no choice at all or taking no action. This is a card that says that you need to overcome your fear and take action anyways. Next is going to be advice from your inner wisdom if you're an Aries for this next month of September. And we got the Page of Wands. And for me, the Page of Wands is an optimistic figure in the tarot. He has some growing to do. He has got this wand in front of him that's a lot taller than he is. It's like a measuring rod, and he hasn't quite grown into it completely, and yet he's optimistic. He's looking up. He's even got a little grin on his face. When I look at the Page of Wands card, I think of the word talent. And so when we couple that with that Eight of Swords message, well, this could be a month where you're being called upon to use your talents, but you might be afraid to use them. Or you might be starting to doubt those very talents that could really take you to the next level, and then you're getting in your head too much about them. And so I just feel like you need to trust your talents. And even if it is a talent that you're still growing into, even if it's a quality in your life that's still being cultivated and it isn't a finished product yet, this card tells you with that Eight of Swords that you need to believe in it. That your talent is going to be the gateway to the thing that gives you hope. And it's going to allow you to feel like a doorway, an escape route is open for you so that you're not stuck in your own fears. So I feel like this next month, Aries, take action on your talents, let them shine, and don't let your mind or your fear trick you out of fully embracing those talents. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Taurus. So if you're a Taurus or have a lot of Taurus in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And the card I get for Taurus is the Death card. And everyone looks at the Death card and they're like, oh no, it's death. That must mean something terrible is going to happen. And yet death, like all tarot cards, no matter how dark they are, they're symbols. They're symbolizing something deeper. And if we just stop at the surface and get afraid and don't go deeper into the meaning of the card, well, then we're just stuck there. We're just stuck in a fear spiral. Death is asking you to look closer. What is it that needs to end in your life at this time? What is it important for you to turn the page on? What are you letting go of? Taurus, this is going to be a month for you where there is a major threshold in front of you. And if you cross that threshold, if you take that step over it, it can lead to a wonderful, amazing rebirth, Always on the death card, there's that sun that's like rising over the horizon. And yet, there is also a sense of trepidation with this card. You don't want to sugarcoat it and just say, oh, death just means change and new beginnings, big deal. Death card frightens a lot of us because what it really represents is permanent change. It's saying that if you take that step, if you make that choice, there's no getting the toothpaste back in the tube. And that sense of finality, the gravity of the decision in front of you, that might be causing you to think twice about it. And yet death will often come up when that change is required. It's necessary. It's time to let go of that old thing. So I do feel like there is this death energy, but also that rebirth that is promised around the corner. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Taurus, to help you this next month is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is telling you not to rush through your transformations or your changes. The Knight of Swords, he's merciless. He's on that horse and he's yelling, go, go, go. He's thrashing it. And that poor horse is looking up at him like, I can't go any faster. You're pushing me too hard. There might be a sense this next month for you, Taurus, that you're pushing too hard. Or maybe the change that's in front of you is scary and all you want it to be is over with. And yet you want to take your time through your transformation. Whatever is ending, it needs care. It needs tenderness. It needs your attention. And it also just needs a focus on some of the details that are going on right now. Things might feel like they're moving very fast when the Knight of Swords comes up. And aside from just things, change is moving very fast this next month with that Death card, Knight of Swords combination. And so I just kind of feel for you, Taurus, it's important that you're clear-headed, that you're calm about the change that's in front of you, that you're knowing that this isn't the end of your whole life and everything that you've built, but that it is an end of a chapter. And it's important that you're turning this page. And it's so important that you're kind to yourself, taking it slow, giving yourself just a little bit more time this next month. When I see the Knight of Swords, I tell my clients, dial it down a little bit. Maybe just walk 5% slower or breathe 5% slower or talk a little slower. Maybe you're needing to think about things just a little longer. But that's going to ensure that you're not just rushing haphazardly through the challenge at hand. And I do feel like a positive rebirth is assured, but September might be a month where there's a clearing that's happening first. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Gemini. So if you're a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2024. And we got the Hierophant card. The Hierophant, he's many things in the tarot. He's a teacher. Sometimes this card can represent learning or some sort of training or maybe even you teaching. But for me, the Hierophant, more than anything, is the Holy card. It's the card of faith. And faith is something that's developed not when everything's going so well in your life and swimmingly. It's when there is a big question mark of how will this go? Maybe it's going to be bad. Maybe it's going to be good. I don't know. Hierophant will tell you it's important that you have faith, not only in yourself, but in something bigger than you, something that you can trust in. And Gemini, for you, I just want you to know that the divine is listening. It's all around you. It's just waiting to support and assist you. And maybe what you're needing to do is, number one, ask for the help you're needing. And then number two, trust that that help is going to come. The Hierophant is also a card of keeping the faith in yourself, staying strong, being resolved to go your own road and believe it's right, despite opposition, despite what other people are saying. You have to have faith in your dream. You have to have faith in your goal. The Hierophant can also indicate that this is a time for you to absorb some sort of knowledge that's going to help you at this leg of your journey. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Gemini, is actually the Tower card. And much like Taurus with the Death card, people see the Tower and they're like, no, not the Tower. And yet the Tower, it represents old modes of being that have become a prison, that have locked you away, that are keeping you in your head, separated from nature, separated from your nature. And that lightning bolt that's hitting the Tower is the lightning bolt the universe inevitably sends when you're in denial about something, when you become too trapped in it. Maybe you're feeling so disconnected from your own spirit, from your own song, that Tower moment could be really healing for you. It'll crack open the prison that's keeping you stuck in your head. It'll get you back into the world. And also 2 major arcana cards for you, Gemini. This is a time of major shifts that are going on. The major arcana cards, they call you inward to the work that's going on in your spirit, in your soul. The minor arcana, it's like passing life situations externally, things outside of you. But this is a time of deep introspection. And it's also a time for you to break out of the cocoon of an old way of life that just no longer serves you. It doesn't feel good anymore. And it's important that you're having faith on this journey too. My intuition's telling me for September, Gemini, that it might feel a little unsteady, a little shaky this next month. And yet you need to stay focused with your eyes on the prize. Stay in that place of faith. And if you're feeling like you're up to your eyeballs in too much, know that the divine is waiting for you. It's listening. It's hearing you. Ask for what you need, and it will come. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Cancer. So if you're a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And we got the Fool card. And the Fool, he's always about new beginnings. He's numbered 0 in the tarot. And a lot of tarot readers place him at the beginning of the entire deck. He is the one who initiates the hero's journey. And because he's numbered 0, he's not attached to an identity right now. He's free. And so too for you, Cancer, this is going to be a time in your life where an old identity, an old restrictive way of being might be swept away. It might be a time to try something new. Also, the Fool is the adventurer who jumps into the unknown. And even though you don't have any guarantees of what's below you, this is a card of just kind of leaping into the abyss. And just know that the universe has the craziest luck for fools, for people who dare to do it, who go outside of the box. This is a time of change and fluctuation. There's new energy gusting in your life. And it's important that you're following the lead of any new adventures that seem to be calling you at this time. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Cancer for this next month, is the Ace of Pentacles. And surprisingly, Cancer, maybe the new beginning, the thing that you're needing to leap into, it affects your finances, your wealth, your security. This might be a time of trying something new with your home, or it might even be something where there's a transformation that's affecting your long-term financial security. And, a lot of readers, they look at pentacles and they just think coins. They just think it's about money. But for me, coins in the tarot, pentacles, they don't just have to do with worth and value as far as monetary things are concerned. It also has to do with your own sense of self-worth, your own sense of worthiness, your self-esteem. And this could be a month where you're jumping into a new way of valuing yourself, your skills, and the things that you're bringing into the world. Aces are always like yes cards. They're good news cards in the tarot, and they are new beginning cards. And so I feel like there's a new beginning in your life, a new chapter that's just beginning right now for you, Cancer, that's going to really affect how valuable you're feeling if you can, take the opportunity and jump into it with gusto. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Leo. So for all my dear Leos out there, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And we got the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, he's called the student or the scholar of the tarot. And he represents for you, Leo, that there's opportunities to learn. This is a time to study, grow, or even to perfect something that you're already working on. Leos usually are pretty confident in their talents and in their abilities, but the Page of Pentacles is saying that there's always room to improve. There's always an ability to get even better. And although the Page of Pentacles is a child of the earth element and he's grounded and he's able to manifest the things that he's trying to bring into the world, he has his head in the clouds. He's imaginative. He envisions for himself something new, something different, something better in his life. And I feel for you, Leo, the sky's the limit. As far as your imagination is concerned this next month, this could be a time to dream big. But it's also a time to learn how to get there, not to stay grounded too much in that mired, earthy element, but instead to really allow your mind to feel free to chase some dreams. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Leo for this next month, is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is looking upon you with favor. She's guiding your path. The Queen of Cups is the sensitive archetype of the tarot. She's a nurturing feminine energy. She could even represent like a female spirit that's around you, that's really rooting for you, wants you to improve, wants you to get to that next level. Queen of Cups values her emotions and her feelings. And so for you, Leo, all the feelings are important to the Queen of Cups. Not just the happy ones, not just the successful ones, but the hard ones especially too. The disappointments, the difficulties. The Queen of Cups puts all of those emotions in her most elaborately decorated chalice. It looks like the Ark of the Covenant here. There's value and worth in it. And so too for you, Leo. This is a month to reflect on your journey, but also to reflect on how you're feeling, what your emotions have been telling you. There's guidance. There's a nurturing feminine energy that's all around you. And it's really encouraging you to grow, to perfect, and to learn. So take advantage of that nurturing this next month and also be kind to your own emotional balance. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Virgo. So if you're a Virgo or have a lot of Virgo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And happy birthday to all of these September Virgos. And here, Virgo, we have the Nine of Wands, which shows that man there with the bandage on his head. It's as if he's been bumped and bruised by life quite a bit. And yet he's resilient. He's still standing. Nine of Wands, Virgo, is telling you to take stock of the last year and to be proud of yourself. Proud of yourself for standing up to the challenges that were happening. Proud of yourself for not breaking when you were getting pushed to your limit. Nine of Wands is telling you that you're courageous and you're strong. But also look what this figure's done with his 9 staves. With 8 of them, he's built a fence. And what that represents is boundaries. Whatever might have hurt you in the past, it is important that you're establishing boundaries around the parts of yourself that still need to be protected. And those parts might be the parts that are still healing. Nine of Wands is telling you that you're resilient, that you're bouncing back, and that you are growing. But like all Wands cards, they're little branches with leaves springing out of the top of them. They represent growth, but they also represent growing pains and having to go through some of that challenge. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Virgo, look at that, the Magician. Wow. The Magician is the personification for the power of your thoughts, which are magic spells. They're totally going out into the world, and they're creating the reality you're experiencing. And the beauty of the Magician card is if you're looking around at your life and you don't like what you see, or how you're feeling about it, or what wounds might have happened in the past, you can change it. You can change it now. You just have to change where you're placing your focus. That where your attention persists is what comes into being. And the thing that you're focused on over and over and over again, and you're wondering, why doesn't this ever change? Well, it's because your focus is making it so. It's like a magic spell. And so this could be a time to dream big. The Magician is the master at manifesting. This is going to be your year to flip the script and to get away from old things that might have battered you in the past. And it's so important that you're having faith in your ability to manifest. You're having faith in the divine. And that Magician is just a card of limitlessness. So don't limit yourself based on the wounds, the past, the constrictions from before, because that's over with. The Magician is telling you that a new day has dawned. And it's important that you are conscious of where your thoughts are going, because that's why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Libra. So if you're a Libra or have a lot of Libra in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. We got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of strategy, and it tells you that you might be feeling overwhelmed by the challenges that are in front of you. Might feel like that you're juggling so many things at once, and it could feel so overwhelming, sort of like an invading army that you alone cannot fight off all by yourself. And yet, just like the figure in this card, the thief, he's sneaking into the enemy camp. He's stealing away their weapons. He's devising a way to overcome the challenge without having to fight. And so this card is one of being crafty, being smart, using your wits, and organizing your thinking with strategy. So Libra, I feel like this is a month to come up with a plan. If you're feeling messy and muddled and like everything's all over the place, this could be a time to get organized in your thinking. Seven of Swords is also telling you you're more intelligent than you think, or that you're giving yourself credit for. So start to believe in your ability to find the way around the challenge, outsmart it, outwit it. If you hear the word no in response to something that you're hoping for, maybe it just means no, not this way. Maybe there's a better way, a way to outwit, a way to outsmart. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Libra, for the month of September, is the Emperor card. This is a card of authority. It's also a card of initiative, strength, asserting yourself, and power. The Emperor is telling you that when you act, you win. When you don't act, when you're passive, when you're hoping, wishing, waiting, you lose. The Emperor is telling you to take the initiative, to be courageous and brave. But he's also telling you to create structure. And I feel like both of these cards have something in common for you, Libra, for the month of September. It is a month where you need to get things organized, where you need to get structured, where you need to take the initiative, roll up your sleeves, and just get the job done. The Emperor is also a card of beginning new things. He's got the ram's heads of Aries on his throne. And Aries is known for initiating new things, pioneering, starting something. And so I just feel like that project, the thing that you've been avoiding, the thing that you're anxious about, Emperor is telling you to take control of it. And if it feels overwhelming now with that Seven of Swords, get organized in your thinking, create some sort of structure, a strategy, some parameters around it, and break that goal into doable bits. And you'll see that you're going to be victorious by the spring. Next, let's go into the astrological sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio or have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, this first card is where it's best for you to place your focus this next month. And we got the Five of Pentacles. Now, Five of Pentacles has been known as the poverty card. And on a very basic financial level, this card can tell you to be a bit more conservative when it comes to finances. Watch out for squandering on something really big that you don't need right now. Maybe it's time to just think in terms of long-term financial security and save a little bit for a rainy day. But more than just a dollar amount, Five of Pentacles also gets to the heart of emotional situations you're involved in that are draining. They take more from you than they give back. This might be a month where you're really looking around and you're asking yourself, is where I'm pouring all my energy worth it anymore? Maybe it's time to pull away from something that's just been draining your resources, your wealth, your energy, pouring it into something that doesn't reciprocate or doesn't give it back. And also, as I said earlier, pentacles in the tarot, they're coins, and they can represent money, but they mostly represent our sense of worth, worthiness, value. So this could be a time when you're really questioning some old beliefs that are chipping away at your sense of value, your sense of self-esteem, and that you're really replenishing those coffers. Today, I really think you need to make a decision to turn off the spigot to the energy wasters in your life and to really invest in nothing but that which brings you value. Advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Scorpio for this next month of September, and that one fell out, is the Nine of Cups, which is the wish card. It's a card of pleasure, wishes, setting intentions. We see the man here who's in front of the table set with the 9 golden cups all in a row. And what that represents to me is that this gentleman took time to set the table for his future success. And so too for you, Scorpio, this is the time to set the table for the future banquet that you're going to enjoy. There are goals, wishes, things that you're putting on the table right now. And it's important that as you're setting up this new life structure for yourself, that you're not putting things on the table that deplete you, that take away those resources, but instead that affirm you and that give you more. Nine of Cups, I should say, can also just be a card of satisfaction, a job well done. And it could just indicate that the goal that you're working toward, although it might cost something right now, it might be very depleting, it might be very difficult. This might be a challenging month that really tests the limit on your energy level. You may be finding that you sit pretty as we get into the month of October. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So if you're a Sag or have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, this first card is where it's going to be best for you to place your focus for this next month of September. And we get the Four of Pentacles, which shows this miser on the card. He's clutching these 4 coins. He's thinking they are the source of his security. So he's going to hold on to them. He's going to hold on to things the way they were, because that's going to be what gives him security. And yet when we zoom in on his face, this guy's miserable. The things that he's attached to have become burdensome. The Four of Pentacles will ask you to take an inventory of the things you've collected in your life that you think are of value. And this is not just about money. Sometimes this Four of Pentacles card can also represent your own values, your beliefs, the things that you've been holding on to or hoarding in your heart for all these years, thinking that it makes you more prepared and less scared, and yet it makes you miserable. So Four of Pentacles is telling you it's time to look at what you're carrying in your heart up until this point and ask yourself, is this worthy for me anymore? Is this bringing me value? What the miser doesn't realize is sometimes by letting go of the things he's holding on to so tightly, it opens up his arms to receive something new. And so I feel like for you, Sagittarius, this is a time to let go of old baggage, old narratives, old stories you told yourself, and maybe open up to something different. And I really feel like that's what's going to affect yourself on the sense of self-esteem this next month in a positive way. Advice from your inner wisdom this next month, if you're a Sagittarius, is the Three of Swords reversed. And although this is one of those cards that you look at and you wince and you're like, ooh, that looks like it could hurt. Three of Swords reversed for me is a card of deep healing. It indicates that old wounds, things that have been stuck into the heart years and years and years ago, things that you've been attached to that might have brought you pain up until now, those are being challenged. And, you know, Rachel Pollack used to say with the Three of Swords reversed, it's as if by gravity alone, the swords just fall out of the heart and it's allowed to heal. This is going to be a month for you, Sagittarius, where old narratives are turned on their head. And you want to walk in with an open mind. Let go of the old emotional baggage of the past, the burdens that are cutting you off from fully enjoying the adventure that's in front of you. This is also a month where deep emotional healing is happening in relationships, in family relationships, personal relationships, friendships. There is a sense that the heart is going to start to mend this next month. So I feel like there's some magic happening, but you do need to let go of the burdens that the heart has held on to up until now to make room for some of these positive new experiences. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn or have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2024. And look at that perfect Capricorn card of the Nine of Pentacles, long associated with wealth, financial security, stability. The Nine of Pentacles is also a card that just represents feeling a full sense of self-esteem about your worth, your worthiness, your value. This is a month where you're getting important work done, but not just any work, work that you really feel is of value and that other people are going to validate as valuable as well. Nine of Pentacles is also just a great card of financial windfalls, abundance, good investments, things like that. You could start to see a financial situation tick up in a way that is really encouraging for you. But like all successful Pentacles cards in the tarot, there's also a connotation of patience with this card. That your patience, your hard work, it's finally paying off. You're finally starting to see a reward for the seeds that you've planted. So for you, Capricorn, Saturn has put you through the ringer. It has tested you and tried you up until now. But that Nine of Pentacles is telling you that the abundance is rolling in. And so anything that you're thinking of investing in, anything that you're taking a risk on when it comes to your career, this is your month to do it. Advice from your inner wisdom this next month, another Pentacles card, very financially centric, very much associated with your sense of worth and worthiness, Six of Pentacles. And when I couple these two cards together, Six of Pentacles is a card of magical assistance. It indicates that help is coming, help is on the way. There are helpers around you who will get you to your goals. Instead of saying, no, I can do everything myself, you don't have to help me, Six of Pentacles is saying when help is offered, say, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really wanted that. Thank you. I'll take it. So don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Also, Six of Pentacles is a card of karma. You can see the wealthy merchant with the scales in his other hand, representing that the good acts, the charitable acts that he's doing for the poor on the card, that is going to circle around and reward him. So just know that what you're doing right now matters and that there is a divine balance to the energy that you're putting out there. It is something that is going to be coming back to you. So just make sure that the energy that you're sending out is good. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius or have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. We get the 10 of Wands. And on this card, we see this figure. He's got these heavy burdens on his shoulders. He's lugging them across a field. And yet, when we look closely, he's just about to cross a finish line. And yeah, the 10 of Wands, it indicates there's a labor in front of you. There's a lot on your shoulders, Aquarius. You're pushing ahead. There's a lot of a sense of burden with this card sometimes. But this is the card of you're almost there. And even though this card doesn't look fun to get in a reading, take heart, because this image is also a harvest scene. And so the harvest is here. This could be a time when you're harvesting things from your hard work. It might cause you to sweat a bit. It might be a time that's a bit exhausting, and yet it's rewarding. And so Aquarius, whatever it is that the job needs to be done on, don't procrastinate. It's time to just push ahead, push through this final push, and reap the reward of the harvest. Advice from your inner wisdom for you, Aquarius, is another 10. So we had 10 of Wands, and then we have the trump card 10, the Wheel of Fortune. You know, 10s are the card, or the numbers of completion. It's the first double-digit number, and when we add those two digits together, we get the number 1, which represents beginnings. So the wheel is turned, and it's basically saying that you're completing one round of the wheel, one cycle, and you're beginning at a new place. The Wheel of Fortune is incredibly lucky, and it really tells you to pour all your efforts toward October. This is going to be an important time for you to just give that thing the final push. Your reward is probably October. Also, the Wheel of Fortune can represent up and down energy, hills and valleys on the path in front of you. It's not all just toxically positive here. There is a sense that you are experiencing challenges, things you have to push through as well. And the rewards are there. So I do feel like your luck is shifting for the better, Aquarius. But I really feel like this September is going to require some hard work and that final push. And last but never least is our beloved sign of Pisces. So if you're a Pisces or have a lot of Pisces in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And we got the 10 of Pentacles. And on this card, we see a family scene. So on a very basic level, sometimes the 10 of Pentacles is telling you to focus on your family. Maybe not even just your blood family, your chosen family, your community, the organization that you're involved in. The 10 of Pentacles is all about those structures. They're supportive. This is a card of legacy, and really asking yourself, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to last, Pisces? This is going to be your month for starting to put out the blueprint for your goals. But it's also a month where you want to cooperate with others, work in communication and cooperation with others to make this thing happen for you. This is a really great card of financial blessings, security, stability, long-term security when it comes to family and support that comes your way. But like all successful Pentacles cards, it's also a card of patience, time, and really having an eye on the long game for those rewards to fully manifest. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Pisces for this next month of September, is the 9 of Swords. And that doesn't surprise me. You know, Pisces is the opposite sign of Virgo, and the sun's in Virgo for much of the month of September. And that can be a bit of a challenge. It's an opposition to you at this time. And 9 of Swords is a card of imagining the worst case scenarios. And yet it's so different from that 10 of Pentacles. What's the difference? Well, on the 10 of Pentacles, we see the community, the family, the group, and that's where the stability and security comes from. On the 9 of Swords, we see isolation, aloneness, worrying about things in your own head too much. I feel like the best medicine for you, Pisces, this next month is sunlight. It's the best disinfectant, and it's also the moving out of isolation. Stop ruminating and connect. Connect with those people that love you. Your stability is going to be found from the group, from the organization, and from communicating and cooperating with them. Don't try to do it all alone this next month. Isolation, ruminating, those things, that's just going to make you sort of like a dog chasing your tail in isolation, causing you to just feel like you're stuck in your head too much. Like all challenging swords cards, the Nine of Swords is a card of thoughts. And if you're alone with your thoughts too much and you're just ruminating and they're not constructive to you, this card really tells you it's time to rely on those steady anchors that are around you to find your way back toward the light. And that was this month's Tarotscope for September 2024. I do hope you found it useful. If you did, why not try sharing it with a friend or someone that you care about? And also, it's always appreciated if you like, subscribe, and even put a little comment in the comment box, because that helps grow this little tarot community that we're trying to get rooted here. I'm so impressed with my channel this last year and how much growth has happened, and I'm so grateful to all of you for it. And if you want even more tarot goodies, head to my channel. Every week I do a weekly animal oracle reveal where you pick an animal that has a specific message for you. I also have tons of daily tarot card advice and tarot card meaning advice too. If you're stumped on the meaning of a card and you don't know how to use it constructively, just type in Elliot Oracle, Nine of Swords, or Elliot, Ten of Swords, and you'll get a way of looking at the card that's empowering and doesn't make you feel terrified, doomed, and like you're stuck. That's the whole reason I wrote my book, Fearless Tarot, which I also have to say is available on my website, elliotoracle.com. And so is my book, Tarot in Love. I have signed copies of both books there. But if you want an empowering approach to tarot, those books will probably set you on the right course. I hope you have a wonderful month of September, that it's safe, happy, and healthy. I'm so glad to be done with my move and settled in Somerset, England now, so I can start to focus a little bit more on this channel and all of you. So until I see you again next time, please do take care.